Welcome back to the Army Life, everybody. I am Mike, and today we are going to be talking about the new Vortex Defender CCW. Well, I don't know about you, but to me it seems like just yesterday when you only saw red dots on rifles, and now you cannot go to a range without seeing a wide array of red dots specifically designed and mounted on pistols. Now, the best part about pistol red dots is companies like Springfield Armory have given us an array of different pistols directly milled from the factory that you can mount your most common red dot optics directly on your pistol. And today we're going to look at one of the biggest names in the optic industry, and that is going to be Vortex. Now, I know it seems like a while since Vortex has given us a direct pistol-oriented style red dot, but they have done it, and it's here in the way of the new Defender-CCW. I got two of the Defender CCWs in 3 MOA in, and I mounted them right up to some of my favorite pistols to use on the range, the Hellcat Pro and the big one, the XDM Elite OSP in a 4.5-inch threaded barrel design, which I've affectionately named Big Monster due to its performance and size out on the range. But don't forget, these also come with a Picatinny mount, so you can get them right on the top of your rail or use them in a 45-degree offset should you want to run this on your rifle. For the mounting footprint, these are the RMSC style. So if you're going to put this on your Hellcat or Hellcat Pro, it's direct to slide with one of these 6 included screws that Vortex gives you with the optic. If you want to put this on your XDM, you're going to need to use the Delta Point or RMS style plate that you can get directly from Springfield. The process is super simple. The screws that Vortex give you have thread locker already on them. So you put your optic on your plate or direct to slide, and you torque that thing in the inch-pounds that it is meant to be, and then you're going to be good to go to get out on the range and start having some fun. There's also an included ceiling plate with the Vortex Defender, so if you need a little bit more adjustment when it comes to the elevation, throw that underneath the optic and you should be good to go. Vortex designed the Defender CCW specifically for hard duty use. It's got a newly designed polymer insert which acts as a shock absorber, so you don't have to be worried about if this optic takes a spill out on the range. Of course, I wanted to put that to the test, so after putting the first couple hundred rounds through the Hellcat Pro and the XDM Elite, I started off with a series of drop tests, either throwing this into the metal bed of my pickup truck or dropping it from 6 feet onto hard compacted quarter-minus granite.
Vader.
And as you can see, it took plenty of drops. Well, this is probably more damage than most optics are ever going to see in real life, but I wanted to see what the durability was going to be like and if there was going to be any electronic, mechanical, or fastener failures when it comes to the Defender CCW. And to throw in a little bit of extra wear and tear, the Defender is specifically designed on the front of the 7075 aluminum housing with a very aggressive texture. Now that is meant to manually manipulate the slide off of the optic should you only have use of one hand. So I added several of those in just to give it a little bit more to see if we could make this thing fail. So after all of the drop tests and racking it off the tailgate of my truck directly on the face of the optic, I began to run several more magazines through the XDM and the Hellcat Pro to see if there were any mechanical, electronic, or fastener failures. Well, it turns out Vortex was not joking when they said this is a durable duty optic. So after all of the drop tests, the racking, and several hundred rounds through both pistols, there was no shift in zero. There were no failures either mechanically in the windage or elevation adjustment, and the LED was still exactly where you wanted it. There was no blinking, there was no broken housing, there was no broken glass. These are all good things, because as you could see from those drop tests, this is generally more than probably anyone's actually going to see out there in real life, unless you're doing some form of brutal testing like we did to make sure this lived up to the duty standard. The Vortex Defender also has the options we are looking for in a modern pistol-mounted red dot. It's going to be made out of 7075 aluminum. Now, if you don't know, that is the good stuff. That is the aluminum you want your optics made out of. The large, hard-coated aspherical lens gives you a distortion-free view with extremely bright and clear dot clarity. You're going to get that motion activation that all of us want in red dots today, and it's going to auto shut off when you're not using it. Now, the timer on that one is set for a clock at 14 hours, and when you pick it back up, it will turn right back on to the last dot brightness setting that you were using it on. On the 6 and the 3 MOA versions, you will have 8 daylight levels of adjustment for the dot brightness and 2 night vision compatible settings should you have a set of night tubes hanging in your kit closet that you love to go out and train with. Now, whether you train or work in austere conditions and environments or just like to go out and shoot in the rain, this is going to have a waterproof construction, it's going to be corrosion resistant, and the hard anodized low glare coating is going to last for years of service. And just in case something should ever fail on the Defender-CCW, Vortex has that lifetime no BS warranty that they are well known for in the market. When you are using this out on the range, whether you are adjusting the brightness on the fly, doing your initial zero, the Defender has adjustments right where you want them and pretty much where the industry standards are today. Vortex also includes a tool which makes the adjustments and battery changes super easy. And speaking of that battery, it is going to be a top-mounted 1632 size, which makes changes super easy. You will get approximately 9,000 hours of continuous use at setting 5. When it comes to the adjustments of windage and elevation, they're going to be 1 MOA adjustments, and you will have a clean tactile response so you know your adjustment input is going to be solid. Even though the Defender is oriented towards concealed carry, it is equally as competent on a full-size pistol, as you can see when it's mounted on the XDM Elite OSP. It has the largest window for an optic in its class, yet still conceals and fits extremely nice on smaller pistols like the Hellcat Pro. Looking through the glass, you're going to have very minimal, almost non-noticeable color variation or any magnification at all. On max brightness, even in a blazing Arizona sun, that dot is going to be super bright and instantaneously noticeable when you get on target. The rubberized brightness adjustment buttons on the left and the right side are going to protrude slightly from the main body, however, are set into a depression within the aluminum housing outline so you can avoid accidental changes in brightness or the condition of the optic. Whether I was using this on my Hellcat or the XDM, transition from target to target or just doing slow shooting to methodically get some accuracy out there, the dot was very easy to use, easy to pick up, and very concise on target, and it was there when I was ready to press the shot. Now, to answer the question I'm sure many of you out there are asking, would I actually carry the Vortex Defender CCW? And I'm going to answer that this way. That Vortex Defender is still on my Hellcat Pro in its beaten, brutalized, and scratched up state. Now, that Hellcat Pro is a regular in my EDC carry, so that should pretty much let you know how I feel about the Vortex Defender. Make sure you check out some more content here on the Armory Life, and I will see you all out on the range.